When the threat of being fired doesn't work, they have got nothing. I was working in a factory, place was straight out of the 1800s. Manager loved to take people upstairs and threaten to fire them. Some staff got invited upstairs for this repeatedly. One day it was my turn. Most staff would shift 100 units a day, I did about 40 units. Never got a penny more if I did more. Wage stayed the same if I shifted 40 a day or if I shifted 400. I get the invite to go in her office as my output wasn't good enough. I get the speech about how she was thinking of letting me go if my output doesn't get much faster. I say, this is the quickest I can go, not true. She says, tapping her desk and smiling nastily, do you want to keep your job? I say, I don't mind either way. She blinks, puts her pen down and asks again and reminds me that there are a lot of people out of work, etc., etc. I repeat myself, don't mind getting the sack, as the mortgage is all paid off, my wife is the main breadwinner and I am only working there for pocket money. She looks pieced, knowing she has got nothing else to go at me. She tells me I have to work faster. I say, I am at my peak speed. We both know I am lying, but she knows that I do not care if she lets me go or not, and she hasn't got another stick to beat me with. I am on minimum pay, so she cannot legally drop my wages. We go back and forth on me working faster. I stick to my script that I am going my fastest and she cannot prove otherwise. Eventually she gives up and I return to my desk. I am one of the very few to never get taken into the office again. She never speaks to me again. And I drop my output even more. Sodem. Everyone should work at about 60-70 efficiency. That way if there's ever an emergency and they need extra, you can provide them with extra and look great. I'm the same way. I'm in nurse MNGMNT. And I can't afford to not work, but I am a nurse and can get a job before the end of the day anywhere. When someone tries to bully me with the threat of firing, oh, thanks for giving me the heads up. I'll start putting in applications. Wait, I said if you. Oh, I heard you, but clearly you don't value me as an employee, but I can get a job anywhere so it doesn't hurt my feelings. Even is my last day? Stammer stammer. Grumble grumble. I'll fire you. Don't threaten me with a good time troll face. I think you'd get a kick out of the book Managerial Dilemmas by Gary Miller. If nothing else, it'll help you grow on your ability to be a terror. Now tell every other worker that, so they all go down to 40 units. If they want more, they have to pay more. I was working as a lead, no pay increase, just more duties for this company, and they fired their CEO to rehire the old one. Well, apparently he liked everything a certain way, so my manager told me, you're gonna have to cut your hair. I was in the Army National Guard for 6 years, and finally got to grow my hair out. I told him he's gonna have to hire someone new. He thought I was joking. I quit a week later, got a new job the next day. Don't play with my hair. Haha, I know that one. Especially when you inform them that the mortgage is paid off, the car was paid for in one lump sum, and I work for the health benefits because my side gig pays a week's worth of wages in a couple of hours. It goes over really well. Power, what power do you have now, boss? Amen. My advice as a commercial steel guy to apprentices is never let them know how fast you can do the job, they will expect it every time. Love it. I am in the same boat. Retired military and pensioned, they have no power. I work as a hobby, smiley face. Before I retired, I like to admit when I've messed up. Takes all the steam out of someone who just likes to throw their position around on a power trip. Do you know why you're here? Yup, I messed up on this. Completely my fault, and I'll try my best to see it doesn't happen again. Anything else you need from me at the moment? My favorite line right now is, I don't get paid enough to get yelled at. The managers have only tried getting onto me a couple of times, but I just smile, agree with them, and I think they're a little confused by it. They've all agreed that I'm not paid enough to be yelled at. We don't have enough people in my position, so they're not going to fire one of the only ones who actually shows up. Doing what I can to put myself in a position where getting fired has little impact on my income prospects. Ain't there yet, but working towards it. Remind me of when I was working at Foot Locker and it was a slow day. Me and another guy were absently putting price tags on sneakers and watching the music videos on the TVs in the store, and the manager comes out of the back and bellows at us, "Are you guys working or watching TV?" My co-worker jumps and starts to stammer a reply, but before he can start I say cheerily, "Watching television." My co-worker stares at me in amazement while the manager sputters and walks away without saying anything. I was the top performer. I got thanks from NASA, co-workers, clients, etc. I was accused of lying and poor work performance. I quit. The turnaround time on the website changed from a day to 3 days. I may be out of work, but they have to defend why they accused a trans woman of lying about transphobia. If both of you know that you can perform faster, you should use the "pay me more and I'll do more" tactic. If she could replace you, she already would have, and the fact that she hasn't means she is having a hard time hiring. Her only option to improve output is to get more out of you, so she has no choice but to pay you more or let output continue to suffer. Hitting their output goals only means they're going to move the goalpost next quarter year, and we see no benefit of hitting those goals. Mount sentiments exactly. I was looking for a job when I found this one. And if you don't like this speed, you certainly won't like my other speed. I used to work in a warehouse with a useless supervisor. I took a Thursday and Friday off for my brother's boot camp graduation. When I went back in on Monday, my supervisor walked up to me and asked, "Do you really have something better to do than be here?" I looked him straight in the eyes and simply said yes. He had nothing to say after that and stomped off to his office. Definitely a good feeling when you can knock a power-tripping supervisor down a few notches. There was this old lady I used to work with at a butchery that worked there to pay for the heating bills in the winter. She had a day job that paid all her bills and more. She just wanted a little extra money. She gave no fucks. They threatened to fire her all the time. It never happened. She did not give a fuck. That is hilarious. And I don't know what Sodem means, but Sodem right in the eye sockets. Cheers. Minimum wage, minimum effort. I don't understand why people bust their asses for the same pay. I'm in a similar situation. Whether I work my ass off or coast through the day, I get the same money. So why should I wear myself out? We have a colleague that outputs around 1.5 times what I do. He gets paid $1 less than me. I told him numerous times to slow down, as he is fucking it up for everyone else. He gives peak performance, so they start expecting it from everyone else. He refuses to slow down, but always complains that he is tired. Wonder why? This is why most jobs don't want you working a second job. They want you fully dependent on them for income, so they have more control over you. When I paid off my car and house while working at my last job, it was crazy how different I was treated. I have since moved into a much nicer house and have a mortgage again, but don't let bosses know that. Some bosses treat you like shit when they think you have a bunch of debt. One of the joys of being an independent contractor in the trucking field with plenty of experience. Dispatch says you gotta do this thing and go to this place cause we say so. My response is always 100,000 other carriers out there who want me working for them. You really wanna push this? Cause I can be gone by this afternoon. Yeah, paying off your mortgage and being debt-free would be like getting a superpower. Almost like debt is the only thing compelling people to go to work. What happened after? Eyes. This is literally my dream if I ever win the lottery or come into a large inheritance. I fully intend to keep going to work every day at my low-stress job. It will just now be even less stress because they can't hold my job over my head. I would still do my job well. I just wouldn't give a damn how fast I do it or if I piss anyone off. That would be the life.